Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201, and today's episode we're here to talk about Lioness, episode 3 of season 3. The bear is infected. I prefer the title Evil Gets More Evil. And what's different with this episode is we're not jumping back and forth between the present where Joe is kidnapped and then the mission of how we found out like who burned Joe in this situation. So, the episode begins, and I don't know what his character's name is in Lioness, but to me, he will always be Peter Hale from Teen Wolf. And I was like, Peter Hale is in Ukraine, in Kiev. Oh, Peter Hale must be the evil double agent spy, obviously, because Peter Hale is never a good guy in any TV show. But we see Peter Hale. They knock on the door of some Ukrainian person. They tie him up and they put him on a fucking, FaceTime with the Russian agent Alexia or whatever the fuck her name is, as they have her in they're interrogating her. And what's great about this is our boy Kyle, who is head interrogator, does things. He keeps calling her Russian, right? And it angers her. He's like, "I'm not Russian. Don't call me Russian." Okay, she's like, "All eyes are on Kyiv." They were like, okay, about if, it was just that everyone watches Kyiv and they were able to see that they probably that's how they got her. And it was like, well, if that was true, they would have burnt the entire team 30 minutes after we all landed or shot us out in the air or whatever situation. It's like, no, that's not it. They're interrogating and they're like, go rape my sister. It wouldn't be the first time she's been raped to get information from me. Okay, and I let her get raped and a bunch of other things. Then we go to the family meeting of Joe with her family, and they're like, "You have to quit, mom." And they're like, "It doesn't work that way, okay? Because evil gets more evil. Okay, you're a spy for life." And not only that, but Joe is the spy. Okay? Like she is like basically the equivalent of like Olivia Pope in the show. Then they Kyle tells Joe about all the information that like I believe her. Like I think it was just pure luck on how they were able to name you. And she's like, "I don't believe it." This so then they cut a deal with her to learn about how the Lioness program works in Russia and in China. Okay, America is the bear, China is the tiger, and Russia is the wolf pack. And the wolf and the tiger, they don't work together, but what have they done is that they have infected the bear with disease through years. That apparently there's so many double agents that have been either real double agents or honeypotted throughout various levels of the American ecosystem over the last 15 years. School teachers, church officials, news anchors, senior White House staff of both parties that have been doing that to manipulate information, to rise, to cause chaos in colleges, to make random white kids care about Middle Eastern countries that they know they don't care about. Okay? You get that? To cause America to be at war with itself, because that is how you stop America. And as we see in 2026, America is at war with itself. It's not just Republican versus Democrat. It is the wokes versus the non-wokes. Okay, you have the wokes led by Francesca Hong, who hate America and Thanksgiving and Santa Claus and Valentine's Day. Okay, who are like, I am a birthing person who hates my own my own white son. And then you have like normal people who just, maybe people should get healthcare. Then you have on the right, we need to make sure everyone is Catholic and believes in Jesus, and we need to be birthing babies so we're not replaced and all the other shit. Okay, that's what's been happening. So the the Ukrainian double spy lady shows most of the targets who they are, okay, and explains the process of it. And Joe's team acts like children while learning about all of this, okay? And they're just so confused about what is happening. So they're like, "Okay, we're gonna flip some of these people to the FBI, but we need to get one of these high persons to learn who flipped someone in the NSA to get Joe." Okay? Because that's what's been happening. Then they're like, by the way, the press secretary here, this is what I'm confused with. The press secretary, because it's the Biden admin, right? We're in March, April of 2024. This is still the Biden admin, right? So the Trump 2.0 hasn't come into effect yet. The press secretary is some hot white woman who looks like she would have worked in the Trump administration. Because from what I remember, the Biden press secretaries was the ginger with the bad spray tan, and then the lesbian black woman, and both are very incompetent at the job. Not saying the Trump ones are good, but the Trump ones are at least attractive on television, right? And then we see Joe is strapped to a table, Hannibal Lecter style, with a little bit of water dripping on her. Can you believe this? Joe's still in America? Okay, come on, Lioness team. You gotta find Joe. You gotta rescue our girl. Okay, she's the spy. Okay, we gotta get Joe. By the way, she slaps the shit out of the Ukrainian spy lady. Says my house. The way she says my house just like does something to like the brain receptors.